Welcome back to the Pyro Club adventures. We will begin with a quick recap with the group, and then we will be on our way. Thank you all for joining us at the very beginning. We will switch right now and get started. Hello, everybody.
Oh, hi. Hello.
What brings you?
Hello!
Oh, man.
Hello! Welcome!
Oh.
You're the queen!
Oh, hi.
Oh,
What are
hi.
you doing here?
Who let these people in my house?
It's
You're
just,
not
we just all
like-
start peeking over your desk. Hi.
That would be so freaking creepy.
Just go
Also,
full-
very crowded with the desk up in the corner of this wall here.
We're all just very squished, just sliding out the wall.
Oh,
Actually, that's a very creepy thought. Us flat wall.
making that noise.
Yeah.
Hi.
We speak Cthulhu.
Actually, no, it'd be. Yeah, that's actually better. Be hi. Which actually would be worse.
We're
Oh,
just
sorry. We're actually on. We're actually streaming.
Yeah, we are.
Fun time. In character. Okay. And I do want a special thanks out to Vleeger Dragon for that fan art.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Thank you. We all smiled.
Not all. Don't use the word all.
We all smiled. Though he smiles in a strange way. On the inside. Don't lie.
Oh, also, we can't forget too that today is our longtime gaming friend Heather's birthday too.
Woo, Heather.
Happy birthday!
Heather.
Happy birthday.
Heather.
My present is I will not sing.
Oh, my present is I always sing.
Is that a
Sucker.
present? Is that a present?
No, it's not. It is a form of torture.
Do you want me to do the recap, or does anybody else want to do the recap, or?
Well, you're so good at it.
It's true.
I mean,
Take it, Caleb.
the paladin dwarf is always good at it. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
So we picked up from Belbuck and headed north, back to Adiaco. Got stopped by the Acolytes of Tyr and the increasing army that they were building. We somehow magically got through, thanks to Stephen the Magnificent. And then once through, we somewhat broke off into groups of two. I believe Ithis went with Minchinos and Rosie, and Navik and I went off to find Clementina. We found Clementina, who kind of didn't know who I was since I was disguised, thanks to I think it was the hat of disguise.
Yeah.
And then once we finally got through to her, she agreed to accompany us to Baumgarten in the north, where the other followers of Odin were currently staying. And then once there, she would head off to the west and the north to Addersfield, where we would meet them again once traveling through Bremwick. Other than that, Minchinos has plans to bring Rosie to his favorite inn, at which point we would probably head off out of Adiaco to the north to Baumgarten.
Cool.
And the last scene before we sort of faded to black was Rosie, Minchinos, and Ithis standing outside of
That's right.
the leading lady, and a emerald feathered woman in a like a kimono style dress, brilliant blue and shiny, sort of locking eyes onto the other Aarakocra in the room, Ithis, and taking note of the Quill of Avali, an artifact from their race's history, supposedly just a myth, but now just being worn casually on the back of this Aarakocra adventurer. And that's where we'll jump back in. Sarka Karkola, sort of like holding her arms sort of up to her chest as though to catch her breath, kind of moves towards you. And she's like, her eyes are like flitting from yours to the quill on your back and back to yours. And she says, "So it's real."
So
If
it
it
is. You have a friend.
So, what does this mean? You're not a seeker anymore. You're a finder. You're like you're it.
Yes, I suppose. Well, I mean, it sort of found me.
Well, in either case, so what's next? Like, is it communicating with you? When you were here last, you thought it was evil, like it was driving you against your will. Have you come to terms with that?
I have, and I have a question, Liam. Is it still communicating with me, or has it gone silent?
It has gone silent since you sort of found it.
All right. It has completely ceased communicating with me since I came across it, and I, quite frankly, have no idea where to go next.
Have you had any other information come your way? Has anything else happened?
No. Not that I'm
By the
aware
way,
of.
I'm between them going,
Do you in your character folder you have one correspondence,
Oh, okay.
perhaps a bit
Oh,
cryptic, intentionally so.
Right. Give me a second.
Mhm.
I probably should
I
have gone
can
on to a point.
share it on the screen as well.
That's fine. You can do it.
So, Ithis. Nice. And he's being very humble. He fought hordes to get that. Well, yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Well,
It's like-
I assume it would have been quite the event. I mean,
He climbed to the top of the Leviathans.
gross. I hate mountains.
So does he. That's what makes it so awesome.
it was positively epic.
Work with me here. Come on, Rosie. Yeah.
I haven't met this little one yet. She's very sweet.
Hi,
Hello, I'm Sarka.
I'm Rosie.
Rosie. What a quaint name.
I like it. It's better than Fern or Willow or
Oh,
Blossom
God.
or one of my 18 siblings.
Right. Well,
She can name them all, too. It's like a song. It's great.
our families tend to be quite large as well. Where I'm from.
Not mine.
It was
Well,
very
isn't this pleasant?
So, well,
I'm
he's...
trying to.
What, you're still looking for Ithis?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
So, Sarka will say, "Listen, I know you must be busy and confused or anything, but perhaps we can discuss this. Maybe there's something I can help you with. I can. Well, I do have some magical ability. I could perhaps scry or divine something from the staff itself if you would, allow me access to it. I can."
That would be much appreciated. Also, and he pulls out a little piece of paper that he wrote. He scribbled on, and he said, "There was a spirit at the top of the Leviathans of an eagle, a great eagle, and it said to me, as I slew it, as you hold questions but no answers, so too do you hold the quill but no plumes. Seek that which you do not have, question those who know more than you, trust that which keeps you alive. Soothe your anger, blind one, You've left your enemies in Ishkar, but they will hunt you for your faith.
And she kind of takes a moment. Quill, but no plumes. Okay. Well, that makes sense. And she kind of gestures to the quill on your back and the notches down each side of it. You just have to find these. And I know that there are many Aeries. An Aerie being sort of a community of Aarakocra. She says there are many Aeries scattered across the world. Mine is from the jungles of the Southern Hook. We have myths, really nothing more than myths, legends, if you will, of these plumes falling to the material world. I could tell you them. We could share information. You must have your own stories from your Aerie in Ishkar.
Yes, but nothing that I recall. Ishkar, well, from what I understand, I've only just come to this realization recently. The Ishkari are, shall we say, authoritarian. They control information to maintain their grip on their subjects and their individual people.
Right. Well,
So we do not have these stories.
none, really.
No.
Well,
You know,
perhaps they're hiding it from you.
You know, a good place to tell stories? Inside in the bar.
Oh, yes. My apologies. I'm manning the door tonight. Welcome to the leading lady. Can I welcome you inside?
I'm just peeking and going,
After you, Rosie. Go on ahead in.
okay.
She kind of looks down at Rosie and at Ithis as well and goes, "Yes, we're going to have to get you two changed."
What's wrong with my outfit?
Well, there is a dress code here, but don't worry.
But I made it myself.
Yes, I can tell.
Oh, damn!
It's lovely. Come, please.
Okay.
So you step foot into the beautifully appointed sort of common room of the leading lady, which is sort of laden with pillows and tapestries, well dressed people of all races, sort of moving around, sort of as though they partly live here. Like they look very comfortable. People in bare feet, walking around with glasses of wine, chatting at the bar. And
Birkenstocks with socks.
yeah, suspenders. No, those people are thrown out. But everyone is wearing, if it's not like formal wear, it is something that is almost a parody of formal wear. And she says, okay, so the rule here is you can, come dressed appropriate for a venue such as this, or our owner, Miss Chiarina Bertolini, will come by and outfit you herself.
I think that's a great idea.
Really, Machinos? You're the best. This is so fun. We get to play dress
what?
up.
I'm gonna give can't remember her name, 5 gold. Say, make sure she's made up and taken care of well.
Oh, Miss Chiarina spares no expense.
Excellent.
And Sarka, who is sort of still like half distracted between wanting to like continue with the conversation with Ithis and doing her job, she goes, "Okay, so Miss Chiarina will be with you in just a moment. Ithis, would you like to discuss this with me further tonight? I'm off in like 10 minutes."
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Great.
I
Okay.
did this and go, you go, boy. You go.
She goes, I'll meet you out front. I assume you weren't too keen about staying here last time, so I expect you're looking for different accommodations. We can arrange
Yes.
that.
And
10 minutes.
Rosie, if
Nope,
I
nope,
look down
nope,
at
nope.
Rosie
We're
and I
all
say,
good. Let's go get some wine. How, you want some
Why
wine,
did you
Rosie?
want to stay
Let's go
here?
get some wine. Oh, because he's
I
gonna
look
go
down-
talk. He's gonna go talk to his new girlfriend, and they're gonna talk about
I
feathers.
look down. I
and
look at
plucking
Machinos and
and-
Rosie and I say, if you were someone else, I would be roasting you right now.
Okay, you can try.
Like on a
As
slow
in
cooker.
with fire.
Yeah,
I'm
says-
very
says-
confused.
Says Rotisserie Bait himself.
What a strange
Remoras
comment,
do
Ithis.
not count. Remoras
Trust
do
me.
not count.
Trust me, it'll be
Okay.
fine. That's right. You should totally tell her how you took on a Ramoraz.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds very impressive.
It really is. All right, so I'll go over and I'm gonna head over and get myself a nice glass of wine and survey the room while Rosie gets made up
Sure.
and they talk or whatever. I'm gonna be over there drinking.
Fashion montage.
Yeah. So, if you wait outside, or do you hang around in here?
I go outside.
Okay. So, in a few minutes, Miss Giorina Bertolini makes her way, almost being carried by her presence itself, just kind of sort of floating across the room. She has a long, filtered cigarette in
course
one
she
like
does.
dainty hand, and like arched
In
eyebrows.
1920s, I feel like she'd have like a 1920s like bob with all the frills.
Oh, definitely.
The long cigarette on the
She's elven,
Yeah.
exceptionally tall, and just the definition of grace. And she comes over and she scans you both up and down. She goes, "Welcome back, Minchinos."
How are you? So good to see you again.
Yes,
How
it's
cool
very
are
nice to
you,
see you.
Machinos?
Very.
And who is this?
I'm
This is
Rosie.
Yeah, she's Rosie.
Well,
She's up-
Rosie, it's very nice
she's-
to meet you.
She's traveling with us from Bellbuck, and I'm introducing her to the leading lady.
Oh, Bellbuck. Adorable. That explains so much. Come.
Okay.
I've got my wine. Have fun.
So she
Bye.
takes you into a small room, well, relatively small, but it feels a little bit claustrophobic because of how many styles of clothing are jammed onto racks and shelves in here.
Yeah.
And she sort of twirls around, and like runs a hand gingerly across the racks of clothing, and they just sort of part as though being sort of magically inspected. And
Ooh.
eventually a few small dresses come like playfully out, floating in the air, and she kind of holds them behind you, and she's like, doing one of these and like asking you to turn, and finally she decides upon a little white dress that sort of flares out in like a 1950s style with red polka dots all over it, and sort of like little straps. And she's like, "Now, bow or no bow?" And she like goes and moves a bow on your head and then removes it. She goes, "No, bows are for crazy people." and then she ushers you back out.
Okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna be twirling, like, I feel so pretty.
Yeah, so you have a little polka dot dress on.
Oh, how cute is that? It's so
And she says, "Well, I would very much like to talk with you some more, but I have many, many things to do. Please have yourself a seat at the bar and choose your accommodations and companionship."
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna go find Mentinos.
All right, let's cut over to Navik and Caleb in the Pit District, in a tiny little dank apartment with Clementina, who Clementina is a disciple of the god Balder, who is the son of Odin, a god of beauty and poetry. But naturally, with Odin gone and the god Tyr on basically a warpath to eliminate any memory of the god Odin, that Temple of Balder in this city has become sort of those who were not blinded by Tyr's veil of deceit are sort of on the run. And one such person is Clementina, who is posing now as a sort of an ally, but realizes her time is sort of running out as the presence of Tyr Inquisitors here grow and grow. And she is one of Caleb's followers, I guess you could say, as they try to rebuild or consolidate what is left of Odin's followers. And here in this tiny little leaking apartment on the street level, with the rickety door that barely holds out the air, you can see sort of like a musty couch. Navik, what are you doing right now?
Didn't she pick
Thinking.
up her stuff and leave?
Yeah, we haven't left yet per se.
Yeah,
She gathered
she's
her
sort of
stuff.
like throwing a bunch of things into a bag, but you get the sense that this is again like just like a little bit of a safe house, and she's just like tying up a bindle basically and throwing it over her shoulder. And she goes, "Okay, so we need to get out of the city, right?"
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you plan to do that? We're going to Baumgarten
Yes.
by boat.
Yes.
Okay, so we need a boat. Easy.
We do need a boat. Easy.
Yes.
So you have a boat.
No,
Okay. Well, you said easy, so I assumed you had a boat.
I don't have a boat. In
Gotcha.
fact, I actually have no money. But, you know, it's been difficult to... Tyr Inquisitors have sort of garnished our wages, so to speak.
I understand that, but you
Yeah.
also mentioned you were good for your travels.
I'm good for my travels. I think.
We can discuss this more in terms of like the boat ride. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, the other 6 I've already sent to Baumgarten at my expense. And if they're going to be fine, we can get there. It's just, you know, getting me there. But I thought with you, it would be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay, good. Great. Well, what's next?
Yes. First, we need to meet up with the rest of our group. They, as far as I'm aware, will be at the leading lady.
Oh, well, that's quite expensive.
Yes, we won't be staying there. Don't worry. It's not for
Okay.
us really.
That's good. It's lovely. I've been there once when I was, you know, a wealthier person, but
Yeah. So we can head over there as soon as you're ready.
I'm ready. You're maintaining disguise, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're fine, big guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I've forgotten your name. I'm sorry.
His name is
It's
Kevin.
Kevin. Yeah. Oh, I'm Clementina. It's a strange name for a Goliath, but you know. Come on, let's go. Come on, Kevin. So she sort of kicks open the door and doesn't even bother locking it. It just sort of swings back into the house and flaps a little, and you guys start making your way out of the pit. When you see a group of 4 Tyr-branded Inquisitors moving down the street in your direction. They don't seem to be taking any particular note of you, but they are sort of moving to intercept.
It must be because of the bear that I'm holding.
You're still holding friggin' Tulip?
Yes.
Oh man, okay, that's
What,
fine.
do you want me to have it on the ground, falling on the ground?
I don't care. Anyways, yeah, well, so like they look like they're like trying to intercept us, but they have no want with us.
So they're not. They have no particular interest in you, but you will be crossing paths.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just continue walking and heading towards the leading lady.
Okay. So as you guys move past, one of them kind of looks over to Clementina and she goes, "Sister, I assume you're heading to the temple now." And she says, "Actually, today is my day off." And the guard says, "Days off now? Well, I didn't hear anything about days off. Perhaps you should make your way that way." And she kind of looks back at Caleb and Kevin. And she says, "Right, very well. If I've been summoned, sure." And one guy kind of like smiles at the other one. You can see they're just sort of being dicks about it.
Yeah.
And they just sort of stand there, and she's like, "Well, the district is up that way,
So is it the way we're heading or the opposite direction?
opposite direction."
Of course it is. And they are heading in that direction?
Yeah. So Clementina sort of awkwardly, with her bindle over one shoulder, she's just like, "Yes."
I'll be like, actually, we are currently requiring her assistance with a sick friend of ours. She was going to come and help us see what's wrong and see what we need to take care of him.
I was under the impression that all healing matters were being dealt with by Tyr's clerics now. Is that not the case, or is this some sort of underground, like, medicine trade?
I mean, we were just told that, we needed help with our friend. Go to this person. We came to this person. She offered to help.
Where do you live, old man?
Oh, just up the street.
Just up the street. You don't look like you live in the pits.
I mean, you could live in the pits and still look nice.
Can you? And what about your big friend back there? Where do you live?
I live here. In
Yes,
town.
we are. In town. Which district? Are you also in the pits?
Sure.
Sure. Well, carry on. Bring your friend, unless you're splitting up here. I don't want you heading this way.
Let's go to the leading lady. Or
So, hold on. So we're able to leave with Clementina, correct?
Yeah, but they want you to go the direction of the stage district, which is where the temple is. Which would send you away from the mezzanine where you're heading.
I still go to the mezzanine area.
Okay, you
Let's
just
go.
like push past.
I said, let's go.
Okay.
All right, one of the women in the back sort of says, "Just like, whoa, big guy, you didn't hear us
I
properly."
keep walking.
You just like push past her.
Yep.
And she goes, "Hey, I'm talking to you. Come here, oaf."
Look at the bear. The bear is still in my arms.
Yeah. She says, "Do you have a permit for that bear?"
I ignore.
So Navik, with Tulip in arms, continues to walk past these four Inquisitors. And what is Caleb doing?
I'm gonna say, just ignore him. He's again really, really concerned about our friend. Are we able to take they know her as Clementina or no?
They do. They can recognize her robes as
Okay.
a sister of Balder.
I will say, can we just take Sister Clementina just for 10 minutes to just check up on our friend, tell us what we need to grab, and we'll send her on her way.
Yes, that's fine. You and Sister Clementina, you can. We're taking this one though, and two of them break off and rush over to catch up with Navik.
What's wrong with him?
He just pushed past one of my guards.
I mean, do you see how big he is? He might not be able to hear from that tall.
Perhaps, but we have ways of fixing that.
I mean, Chino's spider sense tingles and feels like he needs to pop some popcorn.
So two guards run up behind you, Navik, and grab an arm each on you.
Not Tulip.
And they're trying to restrain you.
No. I do not let them.
All right, so
This is
would you
gonna
like
go
to
well.
resist?
What's that?
Would you like to resist?
Yes.
All right. Can you make a disadvantaged athletics check?
Sure.
Doing so will drop Tulip, but not like dangerously.
I like how the dice were crappy, but still ends up being decent rolls.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice. Oh, wow, that. You roll.
Don't look at the sum. Look at the 2 dice.
10 and 14.
So one of them like hooks their arm onto yours, and you just wrench it, and you hear like a dislocation happen. And the other one's like trying to like pull your. It's like a child trying to pull like your arm away from your chest, and you just won't like give up. You're just like,
Like toddlers on their
Yeah.
uncle's ankle.
yeah, exactly. And in front of Caleb and Clementina, the remaining 2 guards who are just like just finishing up the conversation, they can hear the struggling in the back, and they look, and it's just Navik walking down the street casually with like 2 scrabbling guardsmen.
Sounds about right. That's
And there's a moment where the person who is clearly in charge just goes, "What?" And he turns to the person beside him and he says, "Would you help? For goodness sake,
I can barely control
forget
him.
it." Yeah, forget it. He just throws his hands in the air. He's like, "You 2 idiots, go back to the headquarters. You come with me." And he's pointing to the woman beside him. He's like, "We're gonna have some training afterwards. You right?" Goodness.
Sorry about this. Again, we'll be send her off within 10 minutes. We'll be quick.
that's what she.
All right. Well, she'll be back at the temple in 10 minutes. You're saying?
Yes.
All right.
Give or take a year.
And so the 2 pass, and the other 2 are just sort of still like half, like, "No, we can fix this. We can get him. we can do it." They really don't want to go back to whatever training regimen is in store for them for later. Now Navik carrying a bear continues to move.
We're right back like 2 seconds, guys.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so you guys head your way to the leading lady, right? Or are you going to the docks?
I tell Navik to head to the leading lady to inform the others. I'm going to go with Clementina to try to procure a ship.
Right. Okay. In that case, let's follow Caleb and Clementina for a bit as you head over to the docks, also known as Will Call, and the Clementina kind of looks over at you. She goes, "As you can see, there's more of them, but they are increasingly less capable as they're hiring farmers now."
Fair enough. That being said, we need to find you some new clothes.
Right. Well, we could head to the mezzanine and get something simple.
That sounds good.
Is she walking with me right now?
We're
Or-
probably walking with you, yeah.
Yeah, I
I still
assume
have
once you
my
get to the
winter clothing
mezzanine, you
with me.
can split off.
I
Sorry?
still have my cold weather clothing.
Which
Right.
is what, like a thicker loincloth?
No, it is an actual clothing.
Yeah, you have cold weather clothing and fur outerwear,
Yeah.
but it's like Goliath sized.
Yeah, she's what, human?
Clementina, I think. Let me just double check. I think she might be a half elf. In any case, she's not Goliath sized.
A
it would
bit
be
taller
very
than human.
baggy. That's all.
Yeah.
And we could use Boo as a belt.
Yeah, she's a half elf.
Okay.
It would stick with the baggy, poor. You know,
We will find her
slim
some nice
people.
clothing.
I'd rather not travel in something winter oriented in the middle of Suna either.
Shh.
What fun is that?
I might have an extra loincloth.
That's
Oh man.
that's great,
Gross.
Kevin.
Ugh.
So yeah, we'll head to the mezzanine and look for some clothes for you.
Great.
Shopping montage.
Shopping
Beep, 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 beep,
montage. Yeah, you basically just you find a simple store and get her like jeans and a tunic or something like
Something
that.
to make her look more than the pit in a sense.
Sure. So maybe a little bit more dressed up.
A romper.
Okay, so you can do that spending about 3 gold.
Sure.
All right. So yeah, you dress Clementina up in some finery, not over the top, but like business class.
Yeah.
And head your way over to the docks. And at this point, Navik, do you break off or do you go with them to the docks?
Are the people following us?
They're
No.
make a perception check, actually. No.
No, no. It was close to being good.
So close.
It only works in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah, I'll go to the
Hi,
leading lady.
Michael.
Okay. So Navik breaks off down the east end of the mezzanine towards where the leading lady is. Clementina and Caleb, you find yourself on the docks with trade ships and sort of gondolas and things, preparing people to bring them into the city through the canals. You note that many of the trade ships at port here have inquisitors on them, and they are being sort of haphazardly retrofitted for service as sort of almost like Coast Guard vehicles rather than trade ships. And while there's a presence of some authority here, you can once again you can tell that a lot of the people who are pressed into service here, they have no idea how to operate a boat, let alone sort of try and command one or retrofit one.
So we will be looking for one that is not being used as quote unquote the Tyr Coast Guard.
Right. So do you want to make a investigation check for me? And I'll give you advantage since you're with Clementina and she knows the city.
We're good.
Nice. All right, so you go from dock to dock and you slowly move away from the area that is sort of mostly bustling until you find sort of like a service dock in the very back where there is a sort of simple barge-like ship. And they seem to be unloading crates and crates of rotten apples.
Lovely.
Yum.
Yeah, there's a halfling standing on the dock in sort of weathered-looking clothes with like a red bandana around his head, and he's just sort of crossed, standing akimbo and staring down at it and shaking his head.
So they're unloading on the docks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll head over and I'm looking up at the you said halfling?
Mhm.
Okay. And I'll be like, "Oi! Are you the captain of this fine vessel?
Oh yeah, what's it to you?
Looking for passage north.
Passage for you two
For us two and 4 others.
and 4 others.
4 others.
How far north?
Baumgarten?
That's just a Baumgarten across the ocean, eh? Hey, go.
Exactly.
How many people again? See, you get 17.
6.
Goddamn. 8.
6.
Listen, come.
I'll
He kind
head
of
up.
like he gestures you closer, but you're actually fairly close already.
I'll lean in on my tippy
Yeah.
toes.
He says, He stands on his tippy toes because even for a dwarf, you are like a foot taller than
Yeah.
him.
I would assume he'd be on a crate or something. You never know.
He says, "So I took the long excursion around the bay. You see, I thought it would be pretty, but turns out I had a couple of bad apples in the bunch. They're all spoiled.
I kind of look. Yeah.
They're just mush." So, I'm in a bit of a financial crisis, you see. So, if I were to take you 6, and you were to recoup the costs of my apples, maybe I could afford to get my crew to join me again. Because otherwise, I can't pilot this thing on my own.
You have no crew. Interesting.
Well, I haven't paid them yet because I don't have any apples, and I won't be able to pay them. So, how would you like to buy 3 tons of apples? And he grabs a little bin of like apple slush and slurps it around a little
Lovely.
bit.
Delicious.
Meanwhile, I'm going to give the bartender 5 gold to get a new bottle of wine for me and Rosie.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
let's
really
cut-
good. You should try
Let's
this.
cut back over.
Yeah, we can cut back.
Oh no,
with that.
I was just
No, I think the little shake of the apple bin is probably a good place to switch scenes.
Want some?
So before you all is a bottle of something. I can read you the wine list, or you can.
I
You
trust
choose to-
Minchino's knows his wine.
Chinos does know his wine.
Someone should
I
ask for a
assume
menu.
you want the.
So much.
So I'm
Yeah,
not going to get the super top hidden shelf, but top shelf.
All right. So like
Apple cider.
like champagne or
Yeah,
All right.
some nice, maybe with some notes of apple flavor.
well from Corte de Vin, there is the Zenith champagne. It is 3 gold pieces per bottle.
Oh, right there. There's 3 right there. And I'll
All
toss one more to the bartender to make sure it's nice and chilled.
Excellent. So one bottle and a 1 gold tip.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So you are brought it. There's like a big show of like breaking the top off and
You get the saber
sort of
and
pouring
everything.
it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are all outfitted, or at least the 2 of you,
Yeah.
with tall glasses of champagne and a catalog. And the first half of the catalog is a selection of room themes available here. Everything from dwarven mine to swamp hut, plane of fire, or like just like fancy rooms, writers commune, whatever you happen to be in the mood for, whatever makes you comfortable.
Unwashed tippies. So I'm going to sort of try and just sort of tell all this to Rosie and sort of, this is where you pick the setting for your ultimate evening.
Ooh, this is cool. I'm gonna flip through it.
See, so you got like now the plane of fire. It's a little extreme. Dwarven mine can be kind of done right, So there's potential there. Maybe just a nice fancy room, or
Yeah. Maybe I could put on a show. That'd be really cool.
There is like theater stage.
of course there is.
I have been working on a new ballad lately. It'd be good to practice in front of some people. Is that possible?
Well, just flip to the other half of the book, and there's all the theater fans you can want
Ooh.
theater fans.
for 25 gold a night.
How much money does Rosie have? Maybe she
Uh,
has enough to afford this place.
by my count, you have 255.
Yeah, that's how much I have. I just saw that. And I'm just leaning him and she goes, "What's the cheapest rooms?"
They're all the same price.
Yeah.
They're all the same price?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, you know what? Just pick the one you want.
Okay.
That theater
Uh,
room? Gonna go with that theater room?
Yeah, I want to do the theater room.
That can totally work. Casting
Got my-
couch. I mean,
I could read some poetry. That'd be really fun. I got a couple that I have. Yeah, that'd be really nice.
There's a section in the companions section of like just people who are interested in either hearing, co-writing, or critiquing poetry.
of course there is an Adiaco.
Yep.
One of them named Dandelion.
I am Dandelion.
Dun dun dun.
Well, what do you suggest, Manchinos? You're the expert.
You know what? I'm not an expert on you, though. What type of person do you want to spend the evening?
Well, I'm just happy hanging out with you at the bar.
That's a little weird.
Why?
Well, I mean, hanging at the bar. I'm talking about when you go back to your theater room.
Oh, you could come
See,
too.
We've got
Do you want-
companions. Yeah.
Well, you could come too. Do you
I
want
think
to?
now. So I'm going to try something a little different this time here because I've been here before.
Oh,
I've been
maybe
here
I
before.
can.
Remember the
Can I
record-
go with you then?
I mean, sure, but that's not going to be a theater reading.
Well, what are you gonna do in your room?
I just sort of lean over and whisper in her ear and give a couple of hints as to Tiefling Minchino's debauchery in couched terms, not very graphic terms.
I'm just gonna go. Okay. I get it now.
And so and the tail comes around and just sort of pats her on the shoulder and is like, I mean, you're welcome to, but I think that's not what you're.
No, it's. Oh, okay. I'm
Have some
gonna,
champagne. Have some more champagne.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some champagne now. I'm gonna go and read some poems that are about
Yep.
flowers and sunshine and bleach. Over
Flowers and
there.
I'm gonna go back to the book and start flipping through again.
All right. So presumably, Minchinos, what are you spending tonight?
I figured I'd be. So what was the room again?
Room's 25 and each
One's
companion
25.
is 25.
So like 75.
And the two companions are just like sort of standard, personable,
Yeah.
friendly people.
Well, for me, they're just be standard normal people.
But
Unless he
you're
orders me-
particularly interested in like poetry / theater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just someone to listen to me, really. That's
At least one tiefling. As well.
one tiefling. Oh god.
Another tiefling.
Well, whatever he orders for her, she has no control over. She's given her opinion, and that's.
No, I'm talking for me, not.
Oh, for you. Well, whatever you do is your business. She's gone to read poetry
I'm
and
just
bleach
saying-
out her ears.
Let me just rephrase what you're getting here. So when you select a companion, you are selecting a professional guest to join you, and you are in an evening of fine dining, good wine, and you are selecting somebody who is a counterpoint to what you're hoping to achieve, a muse, for instance. So somebody who is looking to get into heated political debates, somebody who's interested in intellectual sparring, someone who wants to discuss philosophy, magic, science, theology, basically anything you want. And the idea is in the after it's all done, you will gain a prolonged sort of advantage in a thematically appropriate skill set. So for
Okay.
you, if you were to like hire a poetry connoisseur or something like that and spend the evening talking about poetry and things like that and performing poetry, then you would gain performance advantage for I think it was 2 weeks.
That'd be cool.
Yes, 2 weeks. But it would have to like be specific to poetry. If you wanted to do something that is more about like deception, for instance, you would have to like angle your request specifically towards that.
Oh, I see.
You thought I was just in it for the debauchery.
Well, that mostly.
I'm sure that enhances your performance for 2 weeks too.
For
Oh.
2 weeks.
Oh gosh, you're gonna get
Call
really
a doctor.
Call
You're
it.
gonna get really lightheaded. You need to, yeah. You should see someone about that.
Outside, Sarka comes like rushing out. She's got a bag slung over her shoulder. She's no longer in the like bright blue kimono. She's in sort of like a loose-fitting like red tunic that's sort of fluffed up around the collar, and that sort of accentuates the crest of feathers that go over her head. And she goes, "All right, you ready?"
Are we leaving?
Yeah, I thought we would just head over to the tavern and maybe talk a little bit.
Sure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So she takes you to a place that you've been before. This is the understudy. There is, it's basically like a. In fact, I think you met the owner last time, Keeper Kosho, who has like quite the big wine selection, but it's a fairly cozy place that is very busy as it's right on the corner of the mezzanine. And you head in there, and she sits down. She throws her book bag down. She orders herself a. Let's see, what does she order? A glass of Pants on Fire, which is Pinot Grigio. And she she says, "So you've got this great spirit talking to you. Is it like part of you now, or is it with like a one-time thing?"
No, it was a one-time thing, as far as I'm aware.
Right. Okay. So, to go over that with me again. So you are to seek, you're to find, and you're to trust.
He pulls out the piece of paper and he goes, if you would just like the important parts, you hold the quill but no plumes, seek that which you do not have, question those who know more than you, trust that which keeps you alive.
Okay.
And then there's an addendum. It said this afterwards more personally to me. Soothe your anger, blind one. You've left your enemies in Ishkar, but they will hunt you from your faith.
Your
I take it I
enemies-
can, by that, I can no longer return to my people.
Well, that's awfully bleak.
It is.
Would they hunt you for something as simple as seeking out the artifact?
Well, so it's a long story. I left Ishkar because of the artifact afflicting me. The quill of Avali was calling to me, I now know, from the Leviathans, for me to come from the Fathom Wood south and then find it there. And it was draining me almost to make it to, I guess, sort of impress urgency, though I'm not quite certain why it is so urgent. But the Quill of Avali, as soon as I found it, it was I'll be honest, I don't really know much about why it was given to me, but it was sort of a beast that rose up from a lake and handed it to me along with an axe to one of my companions. It was a frozen lake, and I have absolutely no idea what. But as soon as I got near that lake, the call got a lot stronger, and then I took the quill, and it was silent, and I felt rejuvenated by the next morning.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay. So, what if I'm going to float a theory here? Is it possible that that pole was using you as a sort of battery? Like, were you fueling it? Is that why you were feeling so drained as it drew you closer and closer?
Perhaps I assumed it was just impressing urgency, but that would why would it drain from me to fuel itself? What is it even fuel?
Well, what other fuel source would it have? Or I guess if this is an artifact of the plane of elemental air, you are a product of that same place, no?
Michael's saying, "I'm gonna put it in front of the camera." And
Michael's a jerk.
So she's saying to you that the artifact being a product of Squall, the plane of air,
Right,
and
right,
you
right.
also being a product, basically, of the plane of air. Perhaps you are the only fuel source that can drive it.
perhaps, yes, but why me? I am a lowly disciple of a small group in the Fathomwood. Why me?
Well, I mean, perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps you're different. You're special.
He kind of laughs at that. Um, well, I highly doubt it, but
Well, you can doubt all you like, but you are the one that is sitting here with an ancient artifact of Our Lady of the Air.
that is true. That is true. In
And-
any case,
Okay, so
I-
seek with that you
yes.
don't have, and you don't have plumes, right?
Yes, of course.
All right.
Question those who know more than you. That would I assume be willing referring to yourself.
Well, I don't know if I have more answers than I've already given you, but I can certainly try. Actually, hang on a second. She goes into her bag, and she pulls out a pair of sending stones, and she slides one to you. And then she says, "There. Now we can stay in
Oh.
touch."
Able to communicate with these.
They're well, they were given to me from my mother, but she's passed away now, so I don't have
As
anyone
is
on the
enough.
other end. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, listen, I think there might be something in this whole Aarakocra myth tracing. Perhaps you can pull out, maybe not truths, but have truths from our shared history. You could
Perhaps.
start with visiting my home. In fact, I was thinking about going there myself, although not for a little while. If you're ever in the Southern Hook jungles at all, maybe we could go there together.
Perhaps my companions and I were possibly going to head to Lamiracad at some point.
Oh, but it's only
Yes.
like about a week away from Lumericad. It's a bit of a trek, but well,
I could stop with them or myself. It does not matter to me.
okay. That sounds good. You'd be most welcome there. Our area is quite inviting of others or outsiders, I
Good.
guess.
I wish I could say the same of mine. On my whole life, I thought outsiders were horrible, even the other Aarakocra, but
Hmm.
I guess that is not, as I have found, that is not true, and possibly a bit of, I suppose, self, what's the word? Sort of, I can't think of the word.
Like self-imposed.
No. Just kind of, I suppose, self-referential, perhaps. Perhaps they're just trying to kind of get their thoughts out. I don't remember the word. Like, legit, I don't know the word.
Right. And she says, "Well, I've never been to the Fathomwood, but I understand it is a very dark and lonely place. I can't imagine anyone living there without being changed by it."
I agree. It was all I knew, and now, well, I'm much, I'll be honest, much happier away from there.
Well, that's good to hear. And she kind of reaches across the table and puts her hand on your shoulder and she says, "You have a friend in me and my people. Anytime."
Good.
Song cue.
So I'm going to add a sending stone to your inventory that is linked to Sarka Carcola, and then let's cut back over to Caleb and Clementina. Actually, no. Let's cut back to Navik as you approach the front door of the Leading Lady.
All right.
He dressed for the part.
So you and your bear approach the front door. There is a gentleman orc in a tuxedo standing outside with his hair coiffed back, and he kind of very gently sort of nods his body towards you and says, "Welcome."
Hello.
That's a lovely bear.
It is.
No tulip.
You want to pat him? Her?
Um,
Yeah, it's her.
yes, actually. And he kind of like tentatively comes close to her, and Tulip sort of buries her head in your shoulder a little bit. And then he like pulls back and he like looks to you for that this is okay.
Should be okay.
All right. So
I
he
said,
goes.
there. It's all right.
He like starts petting her, and she like lifts her head off your chest again and like licks his hand. He smiles and he's like, "This is not a bear I have ever encountered before. This is a very different bear."
It is.
It's a teddy bear.
Well, I like this bear. This bear is welcome at the Leading Lady.
Aw.
Excellent.
Can I help you at all? Are you looking to stay or just passing through?
I'm looking for my companions. They,
Ah,
Oh,
I was
yes.
looking for my companion.
Oh, I see. And who are they?
Minchinos, Rosie, and Birdman.
Birdman.
I mean, that's
Birdman.
probably what Navik would say.
that is what Navik. Yeah.
Well, there was an Aarakocra here a little while ago, but he left with one of our employees. I have Minchinos here, lovely young man, and I think I know who Rosie is, although I didn't meet her personally. I think she's putting on a performance at the moment.
Oh,
I am
bet
forbidden
she
to
is.
interrupt her.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
But I could send them a message and perhaps they would get it with their next drink order.
well, the message is that Belloc is getting passage to get out to Baumgarten.
All right.
That was the name that we planned
Yep.
on giving him for
I remember
his
that.
address.
Yeah.
I'm
okay.
surprised. I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't. All right, so he goes, okay. Do you want them to go there, or I'll just put that note as is.
Yeah.
Okay. Very well. And can I invite you in for a drink or anything? You will have to get changed, but
No, I will go back to the other tavern that we've already paid to go to.
You'd have to put on pants.
the understudy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The understudy? That's what
No,
we're...
that was the middle one. I thought. The
Oh,
understudy.
We were going
were
to
you,
the
were you at the
fourth
fourth wall?
I think it was
Oh,
the
God.
fourth wall.
Yeah. All right. So, sounds good. You head out that way. That's back in the pit.
Oh, that's in the slums?
No, okay. Which one was the middle grade one?
The middle grade is the
understudy.
understudy.
Yeah.
Okay, then that was it.
Yeah,
All right, I had
that's
those
where
reversed.
Ithis and Sarka are.
Yeah, I had
Alright.
those reversed. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then yes, that's where we... That's
We
where
were
I'm going.
planning to go to the fourth wall until we realized it was in the pit.
Yeah.
And it probably only has
Uh,
3 walls.
And there's like a slam poetry bar.
No one wants slam poetry.
Oh, Rosie would. Rosie totally
Yeah.
would.
No one's
Which is-
sane.
The light is so dark.
Do you see a bow in her hair?
Yeah, she's not one of them crazy people.
Uh-huh.
So,
Oh, God, Navik needs a bow in his hair.
Caleb, the captain of this little
What
vessel
hair?
has basically handed you a contract, and is basically showing you all the labor costs that he needs to pay before this crew will do another run.
Okay.
So plus their wages and passage and food for the trip, you're looking at about 110 gold to bring all of you to Baumgarten, including your
Time to
wagon.
pimp yourself out to Manchinos, is what I'm hearing.
So,
He wants to
Player-
make money.
question. The waterways that go all the way up to Bremwick and beyond, is that just like a small river, or do these boats
It's-
make the ways?
Though they can make their way through it. Yeah, you took your boat from Bremwick down that waterway all the way to Adiaco previously.
Okay.
No, we rode to Greens Cross.
And then took the boat
and
down. Yeah.
Then took the boat from Greens Cross to Adiaco. It was a
No,
different boat.
You took a boat to Greens Cross, but had to stop there because you were attacked by gnolls.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember traveling by boat just from Greens
Yeah.
Cross.
So,
Oh,
while looking at this contract,
Mhm.
I'm gonna look up to him and be like, "What if I invest in your merchant vessel?"
I mean, what do you mean by that?
I will give you 500 pieces of gold, so that you can afford your crew, you can pay for their wages, and you can continue doing your merchant stuff. But I want a share of your profits, and I will provide you with more inventory.
Oh, I mean, I do have quite a lot of repairs to do. It's barely seaworthy. 500 gold?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. How do I know this is like real? This has never happened to me before.
Well, it's real because we need to get to Baumgarten for one, but we also have other intricacies, other inventory that we want to kind of start expanding upon.
Shuttling.
I can get you the money before we take off, but for now, I will give him 100 of my gold to pay for whatever he needs to and get his crew back to get working any repairs he needs to do for the moment.
Mhm.
But I would say, if possible, what time is it?
In today?
Yeah.
Like in the it is I think it's like closing in on about 10 p.m.
Oh, okay. And we were planning to leave at night, correct?
I thought we were going to stay at the. What was it? The
The understudy?
understudy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to stay at the understudy and then leave in the morning.
Okay.
Well, didn't we get rooms at the understudy yet?
That I don't
I don't think you've paid for them yet, but
that was
there
the
are rooms
plan.
available. Yeah.
Well, that's where we left the wagon. So I
And-
assume
yeah,
we
the wagon
had
and
to.
the wagon and the tanker at the understudy, and we were.
I
that was
assume
the
that's
plan.
why we were able to leave it there. We had to pay for stables. Or
Oh,
a
I didn't
room.
realize that you had left them there. I thought you were just stabling generally. But if that's the case, we can just sort of subtract that money and make that transaction.
That's what I assumed, anyways.
So yeah, I would
That
say
makes sense.
be prepared to leave sometime in the morning, if possible. But we will get the remaining 400 when we board.
Yes, business partner.
I will give him my name as Bilak, and I will ask for his.
He says, "My name is Giorgio Piri. It's a pleasure to work for you."
Piri or Beery?
Piri. So
Piri.
Giorgio, Pirri.
I will shake his hand and give him the gold and head back.
Okay. So he's like holding this like sack of money in his hands, and he goes, "All right, you wastrels, get back to work. I want these apples out of here."
Get out of here!
As a note, did we actually discuss going to the understudy before I went off? I don't recall.
Well, I would not have gone to the leading lady and planned to stay overnight and thoroughly corrupt Rosie if we were planning to leave before the morning.
Yeah.
That's true.
I assume that there are at least 3 rooms booked at the understudy for Caleb, Navik, and Ithis. And potentially a 4th will need to be purchased for Clementina.
So then, okay. Navix went back to the understudy. I will.
It's just a golden night, so it's not a lot.
Well, no, it's more of because we never really spoke about where we will be meeting, so it's kind of like we're fragmented now.
Right.
All thanks to Maginos.
Everyone knew where it was going.
Yeah, this is not a surprise. You made your choices.
Yes, I know. You know, survival over women. I'm sorry, other pleasures.
Yeah, there you go. You
Companionship.
see, don't judge.
I need to be inclusive. I know.
Companions.
Other pleasures. Anyways, I will.
You don't know me.
So other than the leading lady,
You
we don't
don't
know
know
where
me.
everybody's staying, or at least I don't know where anybody's staying. So I will head back to the leading lady then, with Clementina, explaining everything. I don't know if Clementina was nearby to hear the conversation. I would assume she was, so she knows that we are leaving in the morning.
Well,
Yep.
you knew that we were stabling the stuff at the understudy.
Oh,
though,
fair
too.
enough. Yeah. So I will head back to the understudy then.
I mean,
Okay.
you're welcome to join us at the leading lady.
No, I have no money.
So when you and Clementina head into the understudy, you find Ithis, Sarka, Tulip, and Navik all crammed into a booth.
Oh, we need fan art of that.
Sorry.
Vlieger.
To rewind a bit, is it possible to sell? So I have this chunk of golden comb in my inventory. Am I able to sell that for close to full value?
Oh yeah. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Give
I
me
have some of that stuff too.
with Clementina's assistance, because local knowledge is important. You can make another investigation check with advantage. And if you would like, you can add your charisma modifier to this roll.
That would be a 16.
The modifier, so +3.
My charisma is +2.
Right.
I got a
Okay.
14.
So got it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, did you roll? Oh, you did roll. I didn't even see that.
Come on, man.
okay.
Ninja.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So you head into a small shop on the mezzanine that sells jewelry. And there's a half elf behind the counter that's sort of looking at this sort of weighty piece of metal that you hand over. And they're inspecting it. They go, "Yeah, well, it looks real."
Oh, it is.
So she puts it on a scale. She goes, "How about I give you about $450 for it?"
How about 500 and we call it a deal?
Deal. I know
Sounds
better
good.
than to argue about gold with dwarves.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very.
shit.
Cool. I will thank her
All right.
for her business.
All right, cool. So plus 500 gold. All right, so we can fast forward to the morning, unless there's anything else anyone wants to do.
Yeah, I have that
He wants to do some
brass mug
selling.
with jade.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
You also got 10
so-
freaking diamonds.
I don't want to sell those. Why do I want to sell those? I don't want to sell those.
Shiny.
Diamonds are useful.
Yeah,
Let
we
people
need
live.
to just save a couple of diamonds.
Yeah.
A few diamonds for this.
Nabbit goes to sleep with diamonds in his eyes.
Yeah.
Also, the soles of his shoes.
So you want to sell the brass mug with jade inlay
And the gold bracelet.
and the gold bracelet. Okay, so if you wanted to head it with Caleb, somehow you link up and go to the same place, or if you want to try and find your own place, I will let you make an investigation check.
No.
No to which part?
No,
All
I
of it.
will not find my own place.
All right. So they will offer you 200 for both.
250 for both.
225.
240.
230.
240.
Am I still there?
Yeah.
I'll be like, give him 240 and we're good.
Looks over at the dwarf. Looks down at the gold bracelet. Deal.
All right.
All right, 240.
And once again, it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Yes, anytime you need to sell anything else, come on by.
Across town, Minchinos has a chill run across, and he feels a loss that he can't explain.
It's like thousands of dollars screamed out. Suddenly silence.
Millions of gold pieces. I cried.
All right, any last minute town things?
No.
Nope.
Are we good on
All right.
rations and whatnot since the travel?
You will need to you don't need any ration supplies for the journey. That's covered by
Oh,
the
that's right.
rental of the ship.
Yeah, okay.
At least to Baumgarten.
Rental? You mean my investment?
Yes, that's right. Your purchase. All right. So how about we take a short break and we return the morning after and head out to Baumgarten.
Sure.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna go to the bathroom then.
We shall return momentarily.
Huh. Have you had a diabetes check lately?
And that's where voice comes back in.
Perfect. That's perfect.
So, you wake up refreshed to varying degrees, Minchinos.
I'm fine.
I'm actually more tired than.
So Rosie, did you sleep at all, or you were just reciting poetry all night?
Well, is there? I assume there's a place to sleep in there. I would have
Oh,
probably
yeah.
passed out on the couch if nothing else.
Yeah, there's. If you just fell asleep on the stage, for instance, they would like come and like tuck you in, put you into a comfortable place.
Yeah, I would have crawled into a bed and be like, best night ever. Go to sleep.
Yeah, it's like in backstage.
Yeah, it's a
The green
cot.
room. It's a green room.
Yeah.
With some donuts.
So-
So, a DM question. What would I have advantage on after being debauchering?
Performance.
Yeah.
That depends. What's your angle?
Crooked.
If it's just something like persuasion, for instance.
I mean, I don't really need that much help with persuasion.
Athletics.
But no, I was thinking more, playing a fire and playing with magic.
Oh, you're drunk again.
All right, so we could do Arcana.
All right, that's cool.
And these will last. So, Rosie, you have advantage on performance checks
Cool.
related to poetry and, like, basically your writing in general. Until. Let me just look at the map real quick here. 10-day. Until the end of this month.
Okay.
So, for the next 15 days, basically.
Well, all right.
And then same thing with Minchinos.
Cool.
Yours will be Arcana checks related to things fire related.
Oh my. Oh, that's from the burning feeling you have, right?
That's hot. I always have a burning feeling. Just get used to it.
In your nether regions.
Ithis and Navik and Tulip and Caleb at the understudy. You are awoken to the smell of like frying bacon and fresh bread, coffee.
Yum yum.
All right.
And Keeper Kosho is down there, sort of keeping a well-stocked breakfast buffet. Most of which Tulip passes on. The salad bar, on the other hand, decimated. And then Clementina, sort of as she's having her morning coffee, she kind of leans over to Caleb. She's like, "Okay, so we're gonna sail with that little halfling you found.
Yep, that's the plan.
What's his name? Giorgio?
Giorgio.
Oh, Georgie.
All right.
Oh, Giorgio.
This is terrifying and exciting in equal parts, I think. I am supposed to have been at the temple about 2 hours ago, so hopefully they're not looking for me.
That's fine. We'll deal with that.
Is anyone else have Victor as a black screen?
Yeah, you
Yes.
just turned off his camera or blocked it or something.
My camera's on.
Oh,
Sounds like it's crashing.
you shouldn't play
Oh,
in the
just-
closet.
It's reconnecting. It's doing that thing that
The circle.
Liam's used to when you would
Yeah.
try to load.
Oh,
Oh.
not
Yep,
anymore.
there it goes. Bloop, bloop. There's that.
Having some technical difficulties.
Good.
Does
Yep.
no have a disguise spell for her?
I don't know. So the people from the leading lady, you get notes sometime in the night passed to you saying that. What was the note again, Navik?
What?
That
You were leaving-
the note you
were
left.
leaving-
Belak
We're
is
leaving for Baumgarten.
acquiring a ship from Baumgarten.
Passage.
Right.
Yeah.
Passage for Baumgarten.
Question. The Mask of the Unbroken, what does it look like?
It's like a half mask. It covers just under the nose and like sets onto the jaw.
It should be a picture of it with the items.
Yeah, I think it does have a picture, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Um.
it's like a bottom line.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
in your attuned items thing, there is a here.
Okay. I will pass this to Clementina to kind of use to cover up her face. She doesn't look
Okay.
like they won't be able to spot her immediately.
Sure. So business casual, terrifying lion face.
Yep. And she'll be part of Stephen the Magnificent's group.
And she's looking at it. She goes, "Oh, this is quite pretty, but how does it work?" She like sets it on her face.
Suddenly, an ovipositor goes down her throat.
Yeah.
I guess I explained how it works. I don't even know how it works because I
Okay.
had it on apparently and never knew.
Yeah. Okay, so I will move that from your. Do you intend to get it back from her later?
Once we are out of Adiaco, probably, yeah.
Okay. All right. So she puts that on, and you guys head to the docks. What are Minchinos and Rosie doing? So you are treated to a very elaborate breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
so
Yeah.
full.
And I'm going to get a great big to-go flagon with a Bloody Mary.
It's like 8 a.m. It's like, but yes, we can do that for you.
Okay.
And where do you go based on the information Navik left for you? Do you go straight to the docks?
We would go down to the docks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Manchinas. I've sung myself. I can't talk anymore. I sing
Oh, God.
most of the night, so you're gonna have to bear with me today. Bit hoarse.
Oh my God, this has been a better trip than I could have possibly imagined. I mean, I'm so glad you enjoyed yourself. And Minchinos is feeling super fucking smug.
I'm sure I'll get my voice back later.
I can't wait. So we head off to the docks.
Yep. So at the docks, you see a hustle and bustle of trade vessels moving in and out. You see Tyr Inquisitors sort of trying to figure out boats, some being trained. You do not currently see the rest of your party. Do you want to give me, Rosie and Minchinos, do you want to give me a perception check?
Sure. I suck at those.
Oh yeah. There you go.
I got the Bloody Mary. I got a Bloody Mary. What do I do? No, see if you can find them.
I noticed for all of us. Over yonder. Or
So-
over yonder.
Rosie spots two things, actually. She spots Navik and Tulip first, because they're hard to miss as you're heading towards the far end of the docks.
I feel like my 8 would have even seen Navik and
Yeah. And behind you see Caleb, Ithis, and a slight form with a weird shaped mask on her face. I don't think Rosie's met Clementina.
Neither have I.
Yeah, you met her in the pit after you killed the Inquisitors back in a month or two ago.
Right.
I'll tap on Minchina's shoulder and go, I think they're over there.
Oh yeah, look at that. He's
Player
still carrying a
question.
bear. Why is he carrying the bear? Well, you know what? Fine, let's go.
Player question. The the wagon and horses and that,
The tank.
and the tank.
Yeah, I
We can
assume
get
all
that on a
that's
boat,
coming
right?
with you.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's why I just want to
Like-
make sure that it can get on this ship.
Yeah, this is a barge, so
Okay, good.
definitely. So I assume you guys have all of that with you.
Yeah. Okay.
So you've got Elmer, Digits, Sam, and the tank,
And the wagon.
and the wagon. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So the other thing that Rosie notices at the far end of the dock, the opposite end that you are currently moving towards, you can see that there are inspectors going from boat to boat before they leave.
Okay.
And it seems as though there is a process in which each ship has an orange flag on it, and when they are cleared to move out, that flag is switched to a green one. And the person holding those flags is a Inquisitor of Tyr.
I'm gonna hoarsely pass that on to Vincinos. Is like, oh, this is cool. Look at that.
Okay.
I would.
As we walk, I'm gonna take a pouch, and put a handful of silver in the pouch and tie it shut.
Okay,
So maybe like 10, 15 silver.
sure.
Enough to make it jingly.
Jingle,
And
jingle.
I would assume Caleb or myself would know about this because of Giorgio. I would assume he'd be used to it, possibly.
Giorgio would be aware of it, but I don't think you've had a long conversation with him yet.
Okay.
Because you're heading to the docks. That you were beat there.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but as you bring the wagon and the animals down the ramps towards Giorgio's little service dock, he greets you warmly. He has clearly purchased himself a new outfit. He's
The
looking,
tag's still on the sleeve.
yeah, he's looking spiffy. He got a shave. He's got his hair cropped back a little bit more. And he comes over and he goes, "Business partner."
Good
Are we there
day,
yet?
Giorgio.
Yeah, you guys can be heading up now. Well, we are ready to go. We got those apples out of here. We got the crew paid up, and they're ready for another tour.
And I assume you have more inventory to ship off with you other than us?
Oh no,
Oh, okay. Not a good way
no,
to do
you
business.
are my inventory this run.
Gotcha. Yep, the others should be arriving shortly, and I'll look behind. I assume I see them.
Did I hear the business partner part, or was that before we got there?
That's up to you and Phil. Phil, do you want him to know?
I mean,
Well, no,
he can
where he
overhear it.
greeted. He
Oh, yeah.
greeted when said business
Oh, okay.
partner.
He could totally overhear that.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
be walking up when he says that.
I'm just sort of, this is a nice boat. Business partner?
Yep. Figured
Okay.
we want to expand our horizons.
This is expanding. Sure.
Giorgio Piri comes over to Minchinos and he looks up at you with all the confidence in the world and extends a hand. He says, "Captain Piri, at your service."
Captain. You're the captain of this vessel, eh?
Aye.
And his new business partner?
Yep.
So that makes you my business partner too, huh?
Oh.
Yeah.
I am open for more investment. I got shares for days.
I'm just gonna go
Investment.
up and like two-hand vigorously shake his hand.
Yeah, he's
I'm
like,
just gonna sort of look over at Caleb and just go invest.
There's a gift
You know,
someone
you
should
know-
make.
Okay,
Nothing.
let's go.
Two-hand shake. Oh, we do. Oh no. Oh no, that's
Joe,
on the stream.
Joe, that's all
now.
you, man.
Oh no.
I am saving that. I just saw that
Shoot.
happen.
Shoot. I've made a
Right.
terrible error.
Yeah, you've made a very poor choice here.
Oh
Life
no.
decision.
Oh no.
I've made a clip so I can grab it later.
No.
So- A little something to go with Jordan's ringtone.
No. No. Oh, what have
Anyways,
I done?
Back to the
so,
game.
but yeah. So just sort of look at Caleb and go, investment. Okay.
I'll
'Cause I know
explain
what's
more
coming.
later.
I know what's coming. All right, so let's get all the stuff on the boat pretty quickly, because I'll sort of look over at Caleb and just sort of gesture over to the inspectors.
Oh, yes. I turn to Giorgio. These are what?
Oh, yeah, just dock inspectors. They're gonna want to clear us before we can leave.
Gotcha. Cool. I'm sure we can handle it, right, Steven?
Yep. And I'll step onto the boat and alter self to the Stephen the Magnificent human
Yep.
that I've been using.
He kind of like Georgie sees this and goes, "Ah, yeah,
all good.
It's
one
okay.
of those.
It's all good.
All right, business partner. Let's see what's going on here."
Hey guys, since I lost my voice, I can practice my bagpipes.
I set fire to her.
Aw.
Yeah.
Just filling them up.
Actually, no. You totally need to do that. Go up onto the bow and practice your bagpipes.
I'm gonna play
As
the
loudly as you
Titanic
can.
theme on the
As-
bagpipes at the front of the ship.
As loudly as you can. Your heart will go on.
Do 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 on the bagpipes.
We'll
the
just
front of
edit.
the
We'll edit in actual soundtrack and post. So.
Yeah.
You
Two of
have
the
to actually
crew
sing it.
Yeah,
immediately
but
hand
that's-
in their resignation.
Aw.
My bad.
No, Giorgio actually comes over to Rosie and he goes, "Madam," and he like offers his hand, and he like
And I-
helps you up the gangplank onto the ship.
I'm not wearing the pink dress anymore. I did change back.
Yeah, I assume.
I'm just saying I'm not still in the little pink little
Yeah.
polka
Polka
dress.
dot dress.
He's a halfling too. He
Yeah.
thinks you're sweet.
Aw, finally, someone does.
Yeah. So the
Someone to see
crew
eye to eye.
are working quickly to bring the wagon and the animals on as the Inquisitors get closer and closer. Does anybody want to pitch in to try and speed things up?
I
Oh, yeah,
will.
I'll help.
I'll do also. Oh shoot! No, I can't do that. Never mind. I was going to animate, but that's concentration too.
Yeah, I'll put Tulip on the barge by the horses.
Mhm.
And be like, stay here.
Okay.
Yeah, like
so
the bear's gonna listen.
if you want to help with like physical labor, you can
No.
roll athletics. If you want to help with, if you have a proficiency in like sea vehicles, you can assist that way.
I
If
think-
you are proficient in acrobatics, you can help with like rigging and stuff.
I
Oh, I
think
should've
I
done that one.
was on a ship
Ooh, I can do
before,
that. But I'm playing
but then
my
I got
bagpipes.
captured by the necromancer. Whatever Eduardo died to.
Yeah.
I think I
fireball?
was on. Yeah, but I mean,
It was a drow or something, wasn't it?
I was on. I
was
believe
like a
I was
slaver
on a
ship.
ship, and then I got captured while on
Oh.
the ship, and I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me about it.
I thought that's what it was before. That I was
Where were you
traveling
going?
on a ship. I was where map. I was probably. I'm gonna say, I traveled to Valkith.
Vlakith.
Oh, that didn't exist back then. Remember,
Yeah.
you guys decided that's where the Geth were gonna
Oh,
settle.
okay.
Yeah, because they
A
got
gift.
they got that, and they got someplace like southwest of or something of.
Yeah, the Gith Yankees settled in Vlakith, and
The Geth are something completely different.
yeah, the Gith. Yeah, exactly. The Gith are in Bremwick.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
All right. Let's go with then. I went to Loop, and then I
Okay.
was going to go to Ramona.
Sounds good.
And I was traveling on the ship, and then I got captured by someone. I can't remember who. The person who killed Eduardo.
Mhm.
And then I was sent to.
Okay, and you were working on that ship.
Yes.
All right, well, take advantage then.
Okay.
It cap.
Advantage in what?
Whatever you want to help with.
Athletics.
Didn't see that coming.
Thought you wanted to drive the ship. Good thing you have advantage.
Oh,
Jeez.
that's 16. That 16 lingered for like 5 seconds.
I know. Would've been
So
much
you
better.
you mostly help, and like you only get in the way a couple of times as the more experienced sailors are kind of moving around and
Well, it's
trying to
been like,
push rope piles past you.
It's been like 2 years. So.
Yeah, it has. All right, and Caleb, you're just sort of helping carry things onto the
Yep.
ship.
I'm playing my bagpipes helps, get a good pace going and
Make a performance check, and you have advantage now.
2 1s coming up.
yeah.
214.
Ah!
2 14s.
Nice.
They both have 1s.
All right, as soon as the bagpipes come out, you can like hear the eyes roll, but then you start to perform, and it's actually kind of like it's like the
Sea
perfect
shanty.
pace. Yeah. It's like just the perfect pace for work. Like you know your audience, and you actually increase people's speed as they sort of keep to the beat as they're working. So before long, you guys have the vessel ready to go before the Inquisitors are even like 5 boats away. The crew are ready to go. All you need is that green flag, or not. What would you like to do?
I would like to wait.
I will where are the flags you on, just hanging from a bit of rigging, or what's the story with?
Yeah, it's just a cloth square
Right.
of material.
Then I'm going to cast Minor Illusion and
Mhm.
have a green flag appear on the rigging.
Okay. And you let Giorgio know that you want to.
That's time to cast off. Cast off.
He kind of looks up. He looks to his business partner.
I shrug and be like, go for it.
We're pushing out, boys. He kind of whips his crew into a frenzy, and they start pushing off the side of the dock, and letting out the sails to catch a bit of wind. And before long, you are hundreds of feet off the shore. And Rosie, give me a perception check.
Yeah.
I am watching the inspectors, by the way.
You can give me a perception check as well.
I suck at those, but sure. Yep.
Yep.
It was 22. God damn it. It fell.
So, Rosie, you do see a group of Inquisitors pointing spyglasses towards your boat, and they're clearly having a conversation and pointing and like cross-referencing a chart, and like pulling it back up and like looking back, and they're trying to figure out who gave them the green flag. As you guys move further and further away, they're actually, one second here. I have to double check the speed of this ship.
Oh, I had that up. Hold on.
And once we're at a decent distance away,
Mhm.
I'll go to the stern of the ship, thaumaturgy on myself, and just say, "We'll be back in 2 weeks, Adiaco. Get ready for Stephen the Magnificent to return."
But based off the PHP, there is no barge. So what would you consider this?
Keel boat is probably the
A
closest.
keelboat? 1 mile per hour.
All right.
Or if you want to ask Joe, we can get that in like knots.
It's 1.4.
There you go. 1.4 knots.
No, 1.4 miles an hour is a knot.
Oh.
It's like
You're
point
going
something
less
knots.
than a knot. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So you are moving away from shore. You do see a brief moment where there's a team of them trying to pile into a merchant cog to like chase you down. But I rolled a 3 for them.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the inexperience among them is unable to get the cog into working order and into action before you are basically over the horizon.
And I will thank them in thaumaturgy. We really appreciate your fandom. We'll be back soon. I promise.
Steven
Just
out.
bagpipes and Stephen the Magnificent yelling.
Yep, that's all
Look
that
at
it
that,
is.
Coolio.
Every time you leave
This
Adiaco, it's
is
like,
not a
Yeah.
all right. So let me just check. I believe so. You are heading to Baumgarten.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I will definitely pull Caleb aside and get the skinny on what's going on.
So my thoughts are, we have a alchemy shop in, I think it was in Fox Run, right?
Yeah, I was up in Fox Run.
Yeah. So we have the alchemy shop in Fox Run. We have the ale, which I'm assuming, drawing a blank on the name, as my cousin
Cecil.
Dassel.
Sassel?
That has probably continued to brew the broken chair. So we have that as inventory. We can start spreading that around faster than it's sitting wherever it's sitting in, which is probably in Fox Run itself and Bremwick. And now we have a ship.
Okay. So what is the business partner ported? Is this going to be running up and down the river and shipping our stuff?
As far as I'm aware, our lovely Captain Peary will just do his runs, but he can pick up more inventory from us with a large portion of sales coming back for us.
So what was our investment in this?
The cost of going into business?
Yeah, our buy-in.
For you, currently nothing. For me, 500 gold.
Oh. All right, this works for me. Okay.
Yeah, because it's 100% mine right now.
Fantastic. I walk away going, how did I let him have 500 gold?
That's the real question.
Do you have 500 gold?
Me? Yeah. Well, not anymore. I won't once we land, but
Because he was smart and didn't give it all up front.
yeah.
So if we drown, he'll still have his money.
Can be arranged. This can be arranged.
I mean, if you drown me, you don't have an investment partner, so I don't know what to do. Granted, with
Yeah.
the state of it, you'd probably survive anyways.
I
You just
totally
wouldn't
would
have a
survive.
boat.
I've got a spell that gives me gills. I'm fine with the lake.
I thought it was that hooker that gave you that.
She gave me something else.
Oh,
That was shills.
oh, shill. That's right. That's right. The shills. Sailing.
So you are 11 days out from Baumgarten.
Rosie gets horrendous seasickness, by the way. She's never been on a ship, and
Nice.
she's going to spend some time vomiting.
I
Mostly, I
imagine
bet she
this is also having
No, they will be
This
constant
is also
constant
having
prestidigitation.
So was that Victor?
I have a feeling that Ithis is also having a bad time, seeing as he's not used to being on a rocking surface like that.
Well, didn't Ithis have
Yeah.
issues on the boat coming down?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So
oh
we're-
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
We can be
Yeah, that's
barf
right, we're on a boat.
buddies. Barf buddies.
It's the barf barge.
Oh God.
We're hanging out on the poop deck.
I just set the little toggle on prestidigitation to loop.
I mean, if you're cleaning up, by all means.
Only if she's hitting my shoes.
Oh,
No,
just
I
for
would- I
yourself.
think-
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm aiming for over the side of the boat.
Okay.
Doesn't Rosie have prestidigitation?
Did I take that?
I have no idea. I'm just curious.
I will pour myself a
Yes.
little bit of the smoke water and just sit and watch this.
So yes, I can clean up myself if I get soiled.
She's like going over the edge, all the while casting.
That's why if it hits my clothes. If it doesn't hit my clothes, I'm not going to use it.
What about my
so-
ship?
On your journey, Caleb.
Yep.
Clementina wants to talk strategy with you. So she
Yes.
says, the 6 people that I have in Baumgarten, you want us to go indirectly by way of Kendrick Hill and then Addersfield, but make our way to Ramona. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not there for that, right?
You can be. I mean, it's a pretty small ship.
Yeah,
Like it's
I
not
just-
like a.
I will overhear Ramodna and definitely pay more attention.
Their conversation is just with the serenading sound of in the
Oh,
background.
lovely.
Yeah,
Between a beak and a halfling. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, mine will be.
oh no, birds puke and it's terrible.
It's like a cat.
Get all that stuff out of their crop.
Entertaining value right now. But anyways,
Yeah, there's a hard making barf sounds.
yeah. So that would be the plan, is to head up to Ramona, and that's where we will what's the word I'm looking for? Plan further, I guess.
Okay. So there's myself and the 6 others, and you said that there was some people in Greens Cross, right?
Yes. We'll be meeting up with them hopefully on our way to Bremwick.
Okay. And you're gonna send them the same way through Kendrick Hill?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you've ever made the trek through the Ignis Tracts, but it is hostile. Environmentally hostile. We're going to need to purchase a sand skiff in Fort Yazid, as well as some crew similar to what we're doing right now. I've sent a little bit of my money, or really the remainder of money with the 6 that I sent before me, but we may need a little bit more.
So because I'm originally from Ramona, correct?
No, you are from
Oh,
Maltharim.
Jeroxen, yeah. Yeah, up, way up. Never mind. But I would have had to travel through.
Yeah, you've traveled through.
Okay, so I would know exactly what would be needed and possibly how much.
Yeah.
Okay.
You may, being a soldier, actually might even give you some discounts at Fort Yazid. It is basically now a neutral ground military outpost on the border of the Ceresian Steppes and the Ignis Tracts. And basically, during war, when you were serving, it was owned by the Ceresian army, but now it is just sort of like a ranger's lodge in a way. So all manner of people looking to sort of live that life or act as guides and make a little coin will sort of set up at Fort Yazid.
Would I possibly have a contact there?
Yeah, with your soldier background, I can definitely grant you that.
Okay.
Would I have a contact there, or just for Ramona?
I don't think Minchinos would be in military circles as much as.
No, I'm just saying in general. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I think you've certainly passed through it.
I would have had to get the
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, exactly. Or actually, no, you sail from Ramodna to Loop and then, or did you go
No.
on ground? Okay.
No, I was on ground.
Yeah, you've passed through there before.
Yeah. I didn't
So
know
you're
it
at least familiar with it. It's basically a stopover. You can rent guides. You can rent sand boats, basically ships that sail across the dunes.
Yep. So it would have been more beneath me as opposed to and just sort of a service.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so my thought would be that, and I'll explain this, Clementina, that we could meet up at Fort Yazid and from there travel as a group to Ramona.
She says, that's a good idea. We can meet these people from Greens Cross. Maybe safety in more numbers.
How long do you think, taking the longer route, would you think it would take to get to Fort Yazid, the group?
Let's see. About a month.
Okay.
Traveling on roads by vehicle, you can travel at 24 miles per day. Traveling across wilderness is 8 per day.
Okay. And that, like, are you including the fact that they're going to be going across roads to Kendrick Hill and then up?
So I was under the impression they would be not crossing through Green's Cross because of the Inquisition presence.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, they're going through Kendrick Hill, which also has an Inquisition presence.
Right, but it's sort of a skeleton
Okay.
crew, right? It's like a resource depot, basically. And there is actually a dirt trail between Baumgarten, at least on that's the other side of the river, to Kendrick Hill, because a lot of what is pulled out of Kendrick Hill is delivered to Baumgarten first. But all of the labor comes from Bremwick.
Okay. So in that case, maybe the plan. Oh wait, no. Is it possible to drop them off outside of Green Cross since we have a ship now?
Oh, I see. So if you would sail past Baumgarten just before Green's Cross and sort of let them out.
Well, we'd still be stopping off at Baumgarten to
Yeah,
pick up the others.
pick them up.
Yeah, and then
And
we're traveling to the north anyways.
Yep.
So I figured we could drop them off outside of Green Cross.
Like where the double E is on the map there.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah, that would save. That would save close to a week.
Okay.
Because then they have roads all the way to Kendrick Hill.
So I'll suggest that idea to Clementina. That way, as well, it would be quicker for the contact in Green Cross to catch up with them.
She says, "Yeah, it sounds like a plan. The only question I have is, what do we do when we're there? Are we like we want to take action? We want to stomp some Tyr heads."
Don't think we're ready for that just yet. Lest they know
I,
about.
for one, am ready to take down the heretics whenever you want.
Yeah, suddenly Ithis is just throwing in his the towel, and he's like, "I'm
Well,
in."
He knows that a lot more probably than the others. Navik, I don't know. He knows exactly what's going on, but he's following along anyways.
Yeah.
All I know is that suddenly we're going to remote.
We were fighting Tyr. Well, we were fighting Tyr things, so Tyr's bad. I smashed Tyr.
Yeah, Tyr tried to like steal Tulip from you earlier today.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
So
Can't steal Tulip from me.
the plan right now is to stay low. The less they know about us, the group of us, the better. We need to still be able to build up. That being said, I mean, granted, you're not going to be hitting many places that are civilized or those that are not under the influence of Tyr. Find more others if you can on your way. And again, we'll meet up at Fort Yazid.
All right. Yeah, we can do that. When will you be through? Are you still planning on going through Bremwick?
I believe that's the plan with the group. Bremwick, then Fox Run, and then we will make our way towards Addersfield. I will speak to the group about Fort Yazid, but don't worry on that part.
All right. Good. Things are happening. This is good. We need this. What about your cousin? He's a follower of Odin. Do you think he's safe in Bremwick?
That's another reason why we're going to Bremwick, is to find out.
Right. Right. Yeah. I'm sure there are more too. But
Yes,
I hear that is where the biggest presence of them is. So be careful.
I always am.
And remember, from what I've learned, your disguise is not going to work there.
Oh yes. We'll figure something out.
Okay.
Mask.
Yeah, she like removes the mask of the unbroken and hands it back.
So that being said, are you comfortable with the amount of supplies that you would possibly have to get to Port Yazid? I know you mentioned you might need a bit more, if I can provide, but
Yeah, I just need enough for food, and maybe a couple of weapons, and we should be able to survive on our own in the wilderness. It's mostly just the occasional goblin, kobold, maybe a harpy or two. We can handle that.
I'll give her. I guess would 50 gold cover it?
Sure.
At this point, Minchinos walks away and goes up towards the other end of the boat, sipping his drink and stewing over what he just heard.
Stew away.
Do away.
Stewie?
Maybe I'll go talk to Rosie and find out how she does things.
She's still blowing her bagpipes, man.
There's like
That's
3
that's
days.
one way
Yes,
to see barfing.
11 days of bagpipes.
Blowing my bagpipes. That's what we're gonna go barfing from now on. I'm blowing my bagpipes.
I'm gonna offer her a bit of seasick remedy.
Oh gosh, what is it?
It's fine, trust me.
Straight like it's scotch or something.
Yeah, basically.
It's just mountain milk.
Oh, I am not gonna drink Minchinas' mountain milk.
Technically, it's
draw
Navik's family's mountain milk, but
Yeah.
Even
Oh.
better.
Oh my.
So just real quick, so we talked about this very briefly last time about Minchinos looking to learn a little bit of bardic magic or bardic something, basically. But I wanted whatever it is going to be, it's going to be relatively minor and something that doesn't step on Rosie's toes
Sure,
all
sure.
too much. However,
I'm just looking to basically just sort of learn a little bit.
yeah, and I actually wanted to let Rosie basically decide in character
Mhm.
what she wanted to teach Minchinos.
Oh.
So if you
Rosie in character.
so if you
Not
guys wanted to
bad.
have a little scene, I can sort of extrapolate data from it and then maybe come up with something.
What would I want to teach Minchinos?
Abstinence.
No, I don't think that's something. Playing the bagpipes near him would probably do it, but
Indirect abstinence.
yeah, pretty much. Oh. I'm like, oh, do you want to learn some good acting techniques?
Well, I'm kind of more interested in how you don't use the same magic as like wizards or like me. I'm just kind of curious as to how you do that and where
Oh.
that comes from.
Oh, that boring old stuff. I don't know. I've just always been able to do it.
I want to be like you.
But if you want to know how to write a haiku, I got you covered.
I actually had plenty of tutors that handled that sort of thing. Ago. I'm just curious. You've got some interesting techniques in your magic, and I am a student of magic, so that's all. I'm just kind of curious as to what you have and how you do that. That seems pretty impressive. I'm very, very intrigued by it.
Well, find your happy place.
All right, back in Adiaco. No. Okay, yeah, find a happy place, sure.
You dig really deep into that happy place, and you call into it.
It's really hard for Minchinos to find a happy place, but okay, sure.
Think
Okay.
of the leading lady.
I was gonna say that. She said, just think about the leading lady place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure
Okay.
that place seemed to make you pretty happy.
Sure, we'll run with that. But anyway, go ahead. Tell me more
And
about how
then-
you do these
And then you just dig deep and bring forth the thing you need most, and the magic will do stuff and things.
Okay.
I use usually just do music and poems, and it comes to me, and then, that.
You can do it, Peter.
But you like cast that cool dome spell or the other magic you were doing. Just kind of curious. That's how you get that, is just sort of find your happy place.
Yeah, I think of flowers. So my 33 siblings, and I think about how I
What
want
were
to
the
just
names
be.
again?
Oh, it's a lot. I don't want to get into it. You want to know about my happy place?
Yes,
So,
true.
I think about just being cozy and warm and being protected, and then it comes to me.
I see.
So you could probably too if you really focus. Think about others. Think about other people and their needs, and the magic will come to you.
I mean, that's not that far out of character, depending on who the people are for Mancinos, but
Fair enough. Not Rosie, because she irritates you horribly.
Slightly growing. But I was impressed at her stamina at the leading lady keeping up with me with the drinking.
You'd be surprised.
Not with a halfling, I would not be surprised. Okay, so all right, let's try something simple. And I'll show her. Do you have thaumaturgy or prestidigitation?
I do have prestidigitation, yeah.
All right, so I'll sort of work with thaumaturgy and control flames, and just sort of say, well, this is how I do this.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
So how is that different from what you do?
Well, what are you thinking about when you make the fire?
Fire. I just feel the. I mean, I tap into that side of me where the magic comes from, and there's heat, and it just I just imagine it.
See, you're already doing it. You just imagine it.
But that's different. Okay, no, this is fine. This is good.
And this is when Ray goes, hold on.
I'll just pour another glass. Of Mother's
day
milk.
1 of the training.
Yeah.
She's gonna
Anyway.
vomiting.
Fair enough.
And feed.
All right, so 10 days pass. And
Is Navik training the bear?
Aw, I hope so.
Yes, I've been
Oh,
training
that's
the bear
amazing.
and Boo at the same time.
Ooh,
oh
Oh,
my
this is-
goodness.
big Boo
This
become
is
a
some
bear.
awesome animal handling coming, I can tell.
Oh gosh.
So Navik, give me 3 rolls of animal handling for Boo, and tell me what you're trying to teach him.
Okay. For Boo, what I'm trying to teach him is to not drink my potions.
Okay.
Don't take
Alright.
potions, Boo.
All right, you have disadvantage on these checks.
I figured as much. Oh.
5, 8, and 12. Choose 2 potions from your inventory. Boo has consumed them. But you feel as though you're starting to see some hesitation before Boo takes them.
Okay.
It's really, I cannot overstate how much Boo loves to drink potions.
It's like Minchinos
Yeah.
and his alcohol.
And then Tulip. Tulip largely does what Tulip wants, but you can try and instill some sort of obedience
Mhm.
and like basic commands if you want, like sit, stay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me 3 animal handlings, just normal ones. Actually, no, advantaged ones because you are family.
Yay! Family.
Still means you have to roll good, man.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The first
Started
one was
out
good.
here and you went down.
That's
Oh.
impressive.
I
Alright.
agree.
So
I mean, they weren't ones.
there is an 80% chance that when you command Boo, or when you pull a potion out, Boo will try to steal it. That is down from 100%.
Okay.
You can continue to try and get Boo to stop taking your potions. For Tulip, Tulip's a little harder to train in this setting because there's so little space. But if you were to give Tulip a one-word command, such as stay, follow, search, there is a 20% chance that she will comply on the first ask. So like 1 in 5. Anyone else wanting to do like a downtime study or anything like that while you're going? Rosie, do you want to write it all?
Oh, what would you want to write? I can see her, yeah, starting to write about the sea voyage.
Okay. Give me a performance check, or give me 3 of them actually.
Sure.
And these are with advantage because of your leading lady buff. 27, 17, 24. Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll circle back at another time to try sort of flesh out what this story is, but
Yeah.
so far it is starting off real good.
Yeah, an epic exit.
Yeah.
With bagpipes going and.
All right, so let me bump the date up. It is now the 26th of Suna. And over the horizon, you begin to see the very distinctive skyline of Baumgarten. Baumgarten is a peculiar city known for the dense industry that it supports. Really the heart of industry in all of the steppes. I think there are probably very few people outside of the dwarves where Caleb comes from that process quite as much raw ore or machine quite as many parts for like coopers and wagons and things like that as Baumgarten, as well as like supports for a lot of architecture. And in fact, Baumgarten has had probably the single greatest influence on the sort of architectural style in all of the steppes because they've produced so much of the raw materials required for it. So things like vaulted ceilings and flying buttresses, like gargoyles and grotesques and stained glass and grim-faced statuary. It's not like a super joyless city, but it takes what it does very seriously. And as you approach the docks, the other thing that you start to remember if you've passed through here before is the air is filled with soot. The streets and facades of all the buildings are just stained black. And it is difficult to breathe here for someone who isn't used to it.
I take a deep breath and like, smells like home.
What?
Yeah.
Does
And
it
I
affect
should-
Minchinos?
It does affect Minchinos.
Okay.
The only people it doesn't affect are people with proficiency in blacksmithing and dwarves from the bullheads.
I have neither.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I pull my shirt up over my face.
Yeah. So everyone's got like a slight cough almost as soon as you arrive. But it doesn't seem to have any effect on you doing anything right now. You wouldn't want to spend an appreciable amount of time here, though.
No, it'd probably be stop for supplies.
Meet your people and
Yeah,
go.
meet the people, grab them, and go.
Yeah, this is a lovely place we're stopping at. Cool.
So the ship kind of pulls into the sort of aestheticless docks, just like basically stone slabs, like jutting out into the water. And there's a bunch of people on the docks with big suspenders and newsboy caps, ready to attend to your ship. They pull the animals off and let them sort of move about a little bit, getting some exercise, and start to reprovision the ship. What's your first step?
I will go with Clementina to find the others. I will instruct Captain Peary to get any supplies that he needs, as well as look for things that we could probably take with us along the path to sell.
Sure.
I will also give him 200 gold coins of the 400 remaining, informing him that we will give him the full amount once we reach Greens Cross.
Okay.
And then we can figure out the rest of it from there.
Sounds good. So is everyone traveling together?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with him if he allows it.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
How does a tulip react to this atmosphere?
Sneezing.
No,
Just constant sneezing.
Oh,
good poor baby bear.
I pat him.
Yeah, there are no flowers here to
Okay.
smell either.
No,
Aw.
I'm saddened.
Yeah.
Tulip is
The,
very saddened.
Yeah. One of the dock workers actually will come over and after having sort of placed these sort of cloth masks over the horse's sort of nose and mouth, one of them is like attempting to like knit a modified version of it for Tulip.
Oh,
So there's this dock worker who's sitting over on a crate, this little dwarven woman, and she's just like holding it up against like Tulip's face, and every now and then Tulip will just sneeze into the mask or attempt to like steal it and bite it. And she seems to have taken a liking to Tulip and eventually fashions this little mask and puts it over Tulip's face.
Aw.
I shout out, it's like, we won't be long. Just need to grab some things and we're heading off again.
and some people.
So Clementina leads you off. She's like, I haven't been here in a little while, but I think they're probably in one of the cheaper places. We should check a couple of the inns.
Sure. Do you have a contact name we can use?
I have a code name that we can use, but I'm not sure where they ended up settling down. They've been here for quite a while, like over a month.
Did they not give you any information on how to contact them other than this code name?
Well, they do have a sending house here, but we didn't have enough money to afford anything like that. So I'm just to basically find Mr. Green.
Okay.
I'm sure there can't be that many inns here. Nobody would really want to stay here very long.
I'm going to guess there's 2.
There's a great many more than that, but the ones that are sort of closest to the docks are the Whistleblowers Tavern and the and Grit Spikes Hostel.
Okay, we'll check out the hostel first.
Okay.
Is it just Rosie, myself, and Clementina? The others staying on the ship? Or...
That's up to them. Who's going with Caleb?
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
I'll go along.
Sure. You're
Yeah.
bringing
Rosie's just
Tulip?
happy to be on land again for even a little bit. The world's still rocking a little bit.
I will also ask Clementina what code name she goes by for these people.
Oh, her code name?
Yeah, so that we can...
I
I'm
don't know.
assuming these people will be
What would she
suspicious,
use?
right? So...
Yeah. I think
Go with
I
Anita.
think she's gonna go. Oh, sure. Well, let's use that.
Yeah, sure. let's do it.
Clementina is Anita. So she leads you off the docks. One of the first things you recognize about Baumgarten is that it is, despite it being like covered in soot and the air being pretty low quality, it is like spotless. Like in terms of trash, or like just poor architecture or decaying architecture. Everything is sort of in pristine condition, well taken care of. And the other thing you note, especially because you're in the docks area, there's like no homeless people here. And if anyone's passed through here before, you know that that's partly because this is basically just a factory city. If you're here, you're working.
Gotcha.
There's really no beggars population at all here. A lot of people here are fairly well off, but because of the limited amount of time you can spend in the city without dying,
Yeah.
people tend to be weekend warriors and leave the city during their days off.
Okay, so
yeah, as we walk through, every now and then Minchino's really nice and like special to somebody really rich, and reverse prestidigitation.
And just like soil somebody.
Yeah. No, not necessarily the people, but the things. Something that would like offend
Okay.
as we go along. If it's
So-
clean.
Yeah, there's like nice, well-made like lampposts that line all the streets, and there's clearly a source of electricity here.
Yep, shit all over that.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, and it's probably one of those. It's one of those things that's sort of like a. You immediately get rewarded by your vandalism, because as soon as you soil, like a piece of the city architecture, there's like people just come out of the woodwork and clean it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So if everybody's coming, I'm going to split us up into two groups then. Clementina with at least Rosie, and we'll go with Minchino's because him and Rosie have fun times together. And I'll take Ithis and Navik with me. We can
What are
check
you
out
saying, sir?
both. I don't know. You guys stayed a little leading lady. I don't know. Who knows what happened there?
You're clearly friends now.
Yeah, you're friends.
Fair. That's fair.
Chatted on a boat for 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that way we can check out both. I'll check out the hostel if you guys will check out the whistleblower.
Sure. I can cover that.
Okay.
And I am in as my disguise.
Sorry, you cut out there. What disguise?
He's in Steven.
I said I'm not disguised.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I am as Minchinos
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
with my nice robes.
Okay.
So yeah, so whichever one you wish to start with first.
So let's start with the whistleblower.
Okay.
It's just you and Rosie.
And Clementina, I
Clementina.
think you said.
Yeah.
Clementina. Got it.
That way at least
so-
there's two people of.
Yeah.
Anita, you said, right?
Yes,
Is that
Anita.
her name?
So you head over to this is down in sort of the Forge district, so it's even more loud and sooty than before. But you find this place with this massive brass train whistle that is probably like the size of the building itself that comes jutting out the front of the building. And there's a constant stream of sort of soot-covered like men and women in overalls kind of moving in and out. Some of them coming out with these like big like sandwiches and like sausages with sauerkraut and all this stuff, and just stuffing their face and moving briskly to the whatever next job you imagine they're doing.
Mhm.
When you step inside, again, despite the traffic and the sort of air around here, the floors spotless, tables cleaned, big stone slab tables. And at the back, you can see a large ogre manning the bar.
So I'll just say to Clementina, so what's your plan here?
Well, I guess we just see if there's any long-term patrons here by the name of Mr. Green.
Okay.
How busy is the place?
So there's a lot of places to sit. None of them are being used, but there is a steady stream of people in and out.
Is
Many of
there
them
a place
stopping.
to sit by the ogre?
Yeah. There's like chairs all along the rail.
To the bar.
Is there a setup anywhere for a bar to play?
There actually is a small stage in the corner.
I'm gonna go up to whoever, like, I guess the barkeep, and go, "Hi,
Well,
I'm Rosie."
we're going to the bartender anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead of you guys. Skipping
Okay.
ahead. Hi,
Clement-
I'm Rosie. I see your chair is empty. Would you like me to perform?
You are Bard?
Yes.
Good. You play, what is it? Sweet music. Good, happy music.
I could play awesome happy music, but the only thing I would like in return is something to eat and to drink for me and my few friends. Would that be doable?
Yes, of course. That is normal trade. You are a new Bard?
A little bit new.
You will get extra sauerkraut.
That's wonderful.
Like, reaches off a grill behind him and pulls out this sausage bratwurst thing that is like the size of your forearm. Puts it on this massive bun and just starts ladling on all kinds of like pickles and mustards and stuff like that and slides it over to you. There's no way you would finish this in a million years. And then pulls out like 3 more for your friends.
Thank you. I'll have a few bites and I'll get over to performing.
Good. You stay for all night?
Yeah, no problem.
Great. It's good. In a different language that you've never been exposed to very often, he shouts out something in the back, and somebody comes running out with a chalkboard, and they're standing next to you and like drawing your likeness on the chalkboard.
Cool.
And the ogre says, "What is name?"
Rosie.
Just Rosie.
Yeah, just Rosie.
Good. And he translates and writes your name in presumably a different dialect than your, and then runs out to the outside of the shop, puts up the chalkboard, and suddenly people start sitting down.
All right, and I'm gonna skip back to you guys with my food and go, there you go, guys.
We would have gotten to the bar at this point, I would think.
Yeah, no, well, I'm gonna go over and quietly lean him into his and goes, I've created a distraction so you can do your stuff. And skip away.
Thanks.
Also lunch.
Also lunch.
Thanks. All right, so Clementina and I go up to the bar. Is the ogre like busy, or is he just sort of?
Yeah, he's
milling
constantly preparing food and pouring drinks, but he has you have his attention.
All right, I will put a gold piece on the bar and say, "Can I get a couple of extra ales here, my good man?"
You are with Rosie?
I'm with Rosie, but you know what? And I'll just slide it over. I said, "Just want to make sure we're taken care of here. I'm visiting the town, looking to open some business work.
Yeah, very good.
So
Thank you.
I just want to enjoy the time and make sure you're taken care of too. I know how
Well,
this works.
Pudge is very taken care of, yes.
Good. Pudge. Good to meet you.
I am Pudge.
My Minchinos, and this is my companion, Anita.
Minchinos, yes.
Ah, it's pretty good, yeah. Nicely done.
And Anita? Good.
Yes.
Pleasant to talk. Mm-hmm. You're not eating bratwurst.
Oh, I will have the bratwurst. I'll just start digging in.
Yeah. He seems like he's not like showing a whole lot of like certainly not elation or anything like that, but he seems genuinely happy to have company talking to him.
Good.
He's like, so, small talk, what brings you to right here?
Well, I'm heading up towards Bremwick and Fox Run, but you know what? We stopped in here because I'm always looking to expand the business out, and there's a friend of mine who I heard might be around here I'd love to catch up with him while I'm in town. I don't know. You might know Mr. Green.
Mr. Green.
Yeah.
Short half elf, yes?
I look to Anita.
From Adiaco?
Yes, that's the man.
We threw him out.
Oh my God, that is totally him. Then I know that that's him.
Yes, he was quite rude.
You know what? I have to say he does get that way sometimes, and allow me as a acquaintance of his to apologize if he was kind of a dick.
Yes, he does not like ogre.
Half elves. You'd
Yeah.
think they would be a little more tolerant.
Yes.
Because, Anita's not a half elf. But hey.
I'm working here.
Yeah, she's just like got like this massive stein of ale, and she's just like watching you do your thing.
Yep. So I do want to catch up to him. You know what? You seem like a nice guy, and you've already had some bad experience. He owes me some money. So
This does not surprise me.
yeah. So do you know where he might be? Where he might be staying around here? I don't know Baumgarten very well at all.
I expect he fled the city in fear of me.
That does not surprise me at all either. But let's just say hypothetically, he was going to hide someplace in another inn or another place like that. Is there another one around here that might be worth checking out?
He was soft skin, soft lung. Probably couldn't stay here very long unless he goes to grit spikes.
Grit
But
spikes.
Quite
Okay.
expensive grit spikes. They have filters.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you know what? If he could afford it, he would totally too, because he's not just a soft lung, he's just a person. But
Yes,
as I
can
said,
tell.
he does owe me some money. So quite a lot too.
I wish you good luck in wringing the little one out, yes.
Thank you. I will do what I can. And you know what? I see some people coming in to see Rosie. I'll toss a couple more gold on the bar. I said, you know what? Take care of the folks watching my friend here.
Yes.
On me. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And my new
Listen,
friend Pudge.
everybody. The red one is buying you rounds. Give him claps.
Give him the clap.
Oh God, again! I mean, wait, what?
I just got rid of it. So
Prestidigitation.
everyone in here is sort of nodding and tipping their glass to you, and she knows.
No, give it up for Rosie.
I'm seeing a rousing rendition of Wonderwall.
That whole sentence is so not appropriate. No, but anyway.
Yeah. So let's cut over to Caleb, where you find a large brick building that sort of presses up against the street, like right up against the street. There's no step. It's just like a doorway that opens out into traffic if it was
Awesome.
like, filled with vehicles. And there's no decoration, there's no branding on it, but people have pointed you in this direction and assured you that is Grit Spike's hostel. And you step inside and you find yourself in this like really cold stone, like empty room. And in the center, there's a tiny desk. And at that desk is who you can only imagine is Grit Spike, a 9-foot tall, full-blooded orc in a chair that is far too tiny for them. And at a desk whose surface is like nearly completely obscured by their forearms. And he kind of looks up at you as you enter and he says, 1 gold piece per night, 1 shared toilet, 1 size fit all cot, no blanket, no pillow, no breakfast. You want?
Actually, I am here looking for somebody.
Looking for somebody.
Yes. Friend of mine goes by the name of Mr. Green.
Oh, yes. Yes, we have a green.
Is he here right now? I would love to catch up with him.
Grit Spike has high privacy policies. You cannot know. Maybe he left 2 weeks ago.
Maybe.
Didn't you just say he was here?
No. You hear the tiny desk shift a little bit. It goes.
Well, now, so he's staying here still. Is he in the vicinity? Is he in the building?
Grit Spike is worried.
Nothing's
Why
going to
do you
happen
want
to
to
you,
know?
Gritspike. Nothing's going to happen to him. He's a friend of ours. We just need to give him some information. It's almost a matter of life and death, but yeah, if you could help us out, it'd be worth your while.
You wait here. I'll go ask. Who is
Sure.
asking?
Tell him. Tell him that Anita's here.
Okay. Grit Spike goes to stand up, and the desk just tips over. You can tell this has happened a million times though, because he is not flustered at all. He just like picks up the desk and resets it, and then like walks into the back. I think we should call it there.
Yeah, we should. It's getting late.
Yeah, Grit Spike goes off into the back, and you hear some conversation and some footsteps heading towards the lobby, and we'll call it there.
Cool.
Woot.
GG.
So yeah, we got Rosie performing at the Whistleblowers Tavern.
Yeah.
One night only.
I'm schmoozing with Pudge,
Yeah.
Oh, Pudge.
my new ogre buddy.
Rosie is here for one night only. And you've talked to Grit Spike.
Gritspike.
Cool. So just so I'm ready for it, next you are basically sailing up to Greens Cross or just before Greens Cross and letting out everyone you managed to find.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are you doing? Are you continuing to head to Bremwick?
I believe that's the plan. Unless
By-
something's
by
We have to
boat?
check in on have to check in on Sassel.
Mhm.
And along the way, with his full Weasley wiles, Minchino suggests picking up a cargo in Greens Cross to be taking to Bremwick. Besides us,
Yep. Yeah, I think Caleb gave Giorgio instructions to find something like that.
okay.
And there's no shortage of product here in
So yeah,
Baumgarten.
there'll be product in Baumgarten, but yeah, maybe we can bring whatever from Baumgarten to Bremwick. So
That's
Yep.
fine, as long as we have something to help give our cover story of why we're coming to Bremwick.
Cool. All right. Well, that is it then. Thank you, everyone, for
It was good.
being here today.
Good job, buddy.
thanks, guys.
And have yourselves a good week.
Yeah,
Thank
weekend.
you.
You too.
Yeah,
See you guys
whatever.
later.
Thanks everybody for watching us yet again. We will be back next Friday, hopefully, with the continuation of our wonderful trek across the Cistercian steppes. However he pronounces it. I'll post online again for when we begin, and if any hiccups happen along the way. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and see you next Friday.